Hey everybody, this is Nick from ThreatX3 Productions, and let me put the car off, help out with the sound. Would you shut up? Hi, this is Nick from ThreatX3 Productions, and I'm here at BSU. I'm here to do an interview with one of the esports directors, and so I'm really excited about this because this is my hometown, so this is freaking awesome. This is a really cool opportunity. Check out what they're doing, and so, just gonna go in, try to have some fun, okay? Is there a weight limit? Hey everybody, this is Nick from ThreatX3 Productions. Here with me today is
Ryan McNamee from Boise State University.
Yeah, and we are currently at the Boise State Esports Arena. So we're going to check it out. He's going to give us a tour and kind of give us the rundown of how everything's ran and everything. So super excited. Let's check this out.
All right, guys, we're going to head into our esports arena. It is sponsored by Game Pants Arena. They're a local business, Boise company here. Been super supportive since the beginning of the program. Excited to show you everything that they've been able to provide for us. So the first room we're going to show you is what we call our production room. I jokingly call it a fishbowl because you may walk by and you see the people in there. This is 8 42-inch monitors that we have in there. We overdid it, but it's awesome that we got this many TVs in here. As you guys can see, we have multiple different cameras. We have multiple video feeds. So what we do is we broadcast all our varsity level games live on Twitch. If you're not familiar with Twitch, it's a gaming streaming platform, very similar to Netflix, except it's all gaming related. We do stream every one of our varsity matches onto Twitch. We have different camera angles. We'll show you where those are located. This room has anywhere between 4 to 8 Boise State University students who are volunteering. Either they're business majors, communication majors, broadcast majors, whatever they want to do, they come and volunteer their time and learn how to run a production. It's esports, it's regular news, whatever you want, it all works the same. We do have a machine that takes care of all of our replays, so we get everything on YouTube once the channel is offline. So that's basically it. Like I said, I jokingly call it a fishbowl. Anytime you walk by, you'll see students in here. It makes them look like a fishbowl. So we're going to jump into the actual arena aspect of it. This is my favorite. This is, like I said, the Game Pants Esports Arena by Boise State University. This is where all our varsity games are played. As you can try to get the wide shot here, it is a big, giant 3,000 square foot room here at Boise State University in downtown Boise. We have our varsity stage there. That's where all our varsity team plays. We have the 6 machines set up to do Overwatch, to do League of Legends, to do Hearthstone, to do Rocket League. We do have the giant beanbags that you guys are more welcome to sit in anytime you guys come down to come and watch. We have extra couches, we have extra chairs. We do fill up. Sometimes 60 to 100 people are in here watching the varsity level gameplay. Right behind me, or right behind you, going this way, this is where our casters sit. So we actually have in-game casters, professional casters, student casters that jump into the game and give you the play-by-play, the color commentary with any and all games that we broadcast. We try to pair up a professional broadcaster with a student so the student can learn how to do broadcasting, can get their feet wet with it. And it also helps when the student graduates, they actually say they have experience. They could say they have hours upon hours of experience. One of our students who just graduated, named Paul Meyer, he graduated with a 4-year degree. We're able to calculate he has over 200 hours of casting experience. That equates to about 2 years. of casting experience. So he's got 4-year degree with 2 years experience. It is just completely unheard of, but we're doing great things here at Boise State University. We're going to check down over on this side. We set up some extra computers in this room as well. So when we do tournaments, we were able to host about 20 to 25 people in here. We have a secondary location that could do another 20. So we can do about a 50-person tournament. We do Overwatch. We do tournaments for everything.
Yeah.
Overwatch, League of Legends. We've done Apex. We've done Fortnite. We've done rock paper scissors tournaments. We've done Smash tournaments. And we've done a lot of tournaments down here. But this is open to that as well. And one of my favorite features in this arena, there's so much stuff in this arena, but my favorite thing of all time is that our varsity kids, our varsity students, play on the first generation 1986 blue turf. That was the original blue turf football field. We actually lined our stage with it. So we're the only university in the country that did a throwback to their football team. That is the original 1986 blue turf, and our varsity kids play on it.
That's probably the coolest part.
I think it's the coolest part.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we have one of our bigger supporters is Omen by HP. They provided us with monitors, keyboards, PCs, mice, mouse pads, headphones, the works, and then of course, that's a lot of blue.
Well, there we go.
And then of course, Game Pants Arena is the one provider of space and a lot of the equipment that you see here as well. So big shout outs to those guys.
That's awesome. All right, I think that's a good. All right, so now that we're done with the tour, we're just gonna kind of talk with them, figure out, who is this guy and everything. So, let's kind of start off simple. Where are you from?
Originally, I was born in Orange County, California, which, if you're not familiar with, it's in Southern California, kind of near where Disneyland is at in California. And then I've been out here in Boise for just past my 3-year mark.
Oh, okay.
Of being out here in Boise.
What originally brought you here? Was it esports or?
Actually, I got married.
Oh, okay.
And my wife's family is originally from Nampa, which is a city right outside Boise. And we jokingly say, but it's not a joke, but I say it as a joke, is that part of my requirements to marrying their daughter was to move her to Idaho. Okay. I also had to trade in 2 sheep and a cow for it too. But so that was basically what got me out to Idaho.
Right. Well, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I love it out here though.
Oh God, yeah.
I miss Disneyland, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Well, and my family, of course. I miss my parents.
So then how long was it till you started getting into the esports scene and all that? So
I was in the esports scene in California for a long time. Started when I was about 17 years old. I worked for a computer cafe, also known as a computer LAN center, however you want to word it. Okay. In Orange County called Howie's Game Shack. At the time when I started working for them, we had over 200 computers and over 120 Xboxes. This is back during Xbox One, so the big clunker Xbox, like the before 360s, like the original black Xboxes. Oh, Xbox. Like Xbox, like literally Xbox One. So I worked for there. We had Halo 1. The most popular game at the time was Battlefield 2.
Nice.
This is even before World of Warcraft came out.
Nice.
So I worked there. From that, I worked there for about 7 years. And in between that time, I was able to get connected with a guy named Caleb, between Caleb, myself, a guy named Christopher, we call him Tyrant, and a guy named Julian, who now works for Jinx, the Jinx clothing line. We decided to start an esports club. We call it Southern California Esports, or SoCal Esports, however you want to word it. And basically our goal from that was just to start doing pub stomps and bar crafts.
Oh, nice.
And so we just did a bunch of viewing parties for any Riot game, any Blizzard game. And just doing that led into getting a job with ESL, the Electronic Sports League, which does all the international broadcasts for most video game competitions. Now they're based in Los Angeles. Started working for them as an admin for their tournaments. Worked my way up, became a community manager for them. Yeah. From there, I moved into working for HyperX on their influencer specialist program, helping try to contact with Twitch streamers. This is before Mixer. Helping with YouTube streamers, try to get them sponsored by HyperX. From there, I worked as a contractor for Blizzard, worked as a contractor for Riot, and then traveled to PAX.
What would a contractor do?
So when I was a contractor for Blizzard, I was a team manager. So basically, anytime they hosted a live event, they would invite 64 teams.
Right.
The game I worked on specifically for them was for World of Warcraft, which is technically World of Warcraft is 3v3 in the competition scene, but there's always a fourth guy as a sub. It's 3v3 in the arena aspect.
Oh, okay.
But there's always a fourth guy. There's always a fourth sub. So it's actually teams of 4. And so what would happen is that the teams of 4, and they have 64 teams. That's a lot of guys to manage.
Right.
So they would assign us to manage a handful of teams. So that way they had one person they went to, and then I collected everything they needed, and then I went to Blizzard. So if something's wrong with their hotel stay, something's wrong with their food voucher, something's wrong with their game, whatever, it wasn't 64 teams of 4 trying to find Blizzard employees. It was 64 teams of 4 finding me, and then I found the right person for Blizzard. So that way it was a nice buffer. So Blizzard could take care of, like, this is for BlizzCon. So Blizzard could take care of BlizzCon and do their thing and not get bombarded with a lot of stuff that I could easily have handled and didn't need to bother them. As a contractor for Riot, I just did the refereeing. So like, if you look at any of I think it's called LES now, but when it was originally called LCS, I was the guy in the ref uniform in the back, or some kind of broadcasting in the back. And then from there, I moved to Idaho.
Yeah.
And then I was about a year out here. Got met up with Adam McGuire, also known as Cheesy. He's for the local guys out here. He's the 100.3, the X Rocks DJ host. He does casting here at Boise State University for our League of Legends, and he introduced me to Dr. Chris Haskell, who's our head coach here for the varsity program. And I was like, let me volunteer, let me do something, let me just get involved.
Right.
And so I did that for about 8 months, volunteering my time. And it eventually led into a full-time role. So now I'm the director of operations here for the Boise State Esports program. And I've been here for about 9 months before 9 months officially as an employee. And then about 8 months prior to that as the volunteer. And it's kind of building out this arena, building out the battleground, and hopefully to expand it by the coming fall semester.
Sweet.
And it's a basic rundown. I mean, I've done DreamHack, done BlizzCon, PAX, CES.
All right, stop flexing.
Dr. Haskell says I do that a lot.
Flexing.
I'm just like, but I'm, we're plus 30, and we've been around, just doing this for 20 years, coming up on 20 years now. So I've been thankfully been to a lot of events. Goal is to travel internationally.
Yeah.
I've yet to leave the country for any esports event. So furthest I've gone is Texas. Yeah. And Georgia. Yeah, I want somewhere a little more scenic.
Yeah, I mean, so in the collegiate, site, are there any kind of world tournaments that you get BSU into? So the biggest, it's still considered an international tournament. However, it takes place in North America. Oh, of course. But is DreamHack. So we have participated in a few DreamHacks. Okay. DreamHack as a whole is an international company, and they travel to about 18 different locations throughout the world in any given year, and 1 to sometimes 3 times a year, they'll come back to the States. They always come back to Texas, either it's Austin, San Antonio, or Dallas. They will always come back to Georgia, and it's always Atlanta. And the third location has changed between being in Denver, Colorado. This year it's going to be in Montreal, Canada, but they're not doing any games that we could be a part of. But they do collegiate tournaments for DreamHack, and so they do. I love it. We actually participated in a DreamHack Rocket League event for them last year, which we took first place. Nice. Yeah, so we actually have a trophy in our trophy case from that. Oh, we'll have to go see that afterwards. So, what would be like, obviously on season, what would be like a typical week for you? A typical week for me is a little different depending on the week. Let's say we do have tryouts coming up in 2 weeks. But once we start our broadcast, we do about 6 broadcasts a week over the course of the 4 games that we participate in. What we try to do is we do Rocket League, followed by League of Legends, and then Tuesday, Wednesdays like Overwatch, Thursdays Hearthstone, stuff like that. So it really is getting the arena, which you guys saw, prepped and ready. Make sure all the computers that are on stage are updated. They have the correct hardware. There's no issues. All the mics works. The sound works. So when our varsity guys get on stage, they're ready to play. They're not looking to change settings and deal with that. I mean, that sometimes it only takes 10 minutes, but
They need to be focused on the game. They need to be focused on their plays, not worrying about if their mics work. So my goal is just to make sure all that's copacetic, make sure our production room is staffed with students, make sure they're trained on what they're doing, make sure our broadcasters have all the correct team information. They know who we're playing against. They know the team comp, potential team comp that they're playing against. If they're playing against, for example, if they play League of Legends, we want to give them like, hey, these are their 5 guys. You can look on the League of Legends site to figure out their stats, but you could tell, who plays the tank, who plays the DPS, who plays the carry, and they could kind of get stats from that. So we're just making sure everything runs smoothly for the show.
Cool.
So depending on the week, it's about a 12-hour day.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, it is at least something. It's the old adage where, like, if you're doing something you love, you're not working too much. Like, would you agree with that in this particular sentence?
Well, I'll always agree, especially with being a part of esports and being able to finally do it as a somewhat career, I guess you could say. I mean, I've done it in the past as career, but like moving to Boise, Idaho, not the same as Los Angeles, where there's esports opportunity on every corner.
Right.
Boise, there's one, and thankfully it's here.
Right.
So it is awesome, and it's really fun to be a part of it. It does get really long, and it's like one of those things where it's like, I'm thankful to be part of the university because we actually get Christmas and like Christmas vacation and summer vacation. So it is nice to actually have a summer off. My summer consisted of building this out and making sure this is golden, and with the help of Dr. Chris Haskell and Dr. Brett Shelton and Jeff Benton, who you all talked to, helping build out this program, doing summer camps, doing training camps over the summer and stuff like that. So it was a busy summer, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't get to play as much as I really want to, though.
Right, yeah, that'd be the one downside. You're busy running everything, like you said, making sure everything's updated. You might not get that much chance to actually play.
I do get that opportunity to be like, oh, let's update it, make sure it works. I'm going to throw in a quick game.
Yeah, right.
Just to make sure, the buttons work. Okay, we're good.
That's funny. Well, I mean, I'm trying to think more questions. I mean, I feel like we've covered the gambit or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, what would you say is like well, I mean, first off, let's talk about, like you said, there's one opportunity here in Boise. So it's like you're able to build this up, and let's say there's 2 or 3 now in 5-10 years. But it's like you get that, badge of accomplishment, that trophy of basically being, well, I started this. These other people wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me.
Right. So, I mean, I've only started here for about 8 months. The program's been around.
You.
Yeah, well, the program, no. No, I totally appreciate it. The program's been around for 2 years. It definitely started because of Dr. Chris Haskell. He's our head coach.
Yeah, right.
And Dr. Brett Shelton. He's our academic advisor, and he helps. He's basically the co-founder with Dr. Chris Haskell, who's also the co-founder of it. I mean, it really started with Haskell. Mm-hmm. I mean, he loves telling the story. Like he saw his son playing Overwatch, and kind of was like, that looks cool. Yeah, and Dr. Chris Haskell is a huge into the arcade scene. Mm-hmm. Like I think he has 10 vintage arcade machines at his house. Oh, like nice. He's been a part of the Penny Arcade, which not too many people know this. PAX stands for Penny Arcade Exhibit. Oh, really? Like that's where it originally started as. The original PAX was like, did you ever see? Oh crap! What was the movie? It was the Adam Sandler movie. Where the Pixel, yeah. Do you ever remember like he's talking about the game competitions, like where you see like all the old?
Oh yeah.
So that's PAX. That's That's like what PAX used to be.
That's funny.
And so Dr. Haskell has been a part of that for 20 years now, and so when he saw Overwatch and then he like dived into it, like just 100% committed into it, and I think he said it took him a night, like literally one night, to be like, this needs to happen. Like we need esports at Boise State. And then he slowly started pitching it to Dr. Brett Shelton, and it took him about a week. And then Dr. Brett Shelton's like, we need this. And then collectively, since they're both professors here on campus, nice. They were able to get the program going, and it just took off. Like with all the support, it went from a team of 20, now we have a team of 85. Mm-hmm. Went from the 6 computers in Dr. Haskell's office to the 24 in the battleground that you saw, plus the 20 in here. And this arena has only been around for it's coming up on a year now.
Nice.
And then we are, hopefully able to expand this soon, knock on wood, to even have larger. This is 3,000 square feet, and our goal is 10,000. Yeah. Currently, we're the largest in the country, but that's not good enough for us. We want to be the largest in the country.
You're the largest arena?
Yeah, largest in the arena for collegiate esports.
Oh, collegiate. I'm like...
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, for the collegiate esports.
Collegiate. I'm like,
for
bruh,
collegiate
I
esports.
just watched DXP. That was pretty darn big.
Right. No. So and a lot of times too, a lot of universities and a lot of universities have great programs. Some of them have temporary spaces.
Right.
Where they set up for the event and then they tear it down. Like, this is permanent. This room is for Boise State Esports. That battleground cool. You went to, that's a Boise State Esports battleground. That's cool. Not moving or not changing. At least
not yet.
Knock on wood. I mean, if we move it, it's a different story. But yeah, so it's nice that I am the first hire into esports for the university. Dr. Shelton, Dr. Chris Haskell were already employees. They were already they were already professors. And then they started doing esports. Mm-hmm. I'm the only one that's like, my job is esports. I don't have to teach, thankfully. I'm not a doctor either, thankfully. That's a lot of schooling.
Right. That's funny. So, I mean, what would you say is your favorite part about it?
Favorite part about it is being able to talk to students who want to go from high school to college. It is no secret that Idaho has one of the lowest go-on rates in the country. And go-on rate basically means the transition between high school going into college.
Right.
That go-on rate, we're, I think, second lowest state in the country.
Wow.
And it's like 40%. It's not even like a good low. It's a bad low, and it's no secret. And there's so many factors into it. And the Idaho as a state has put a lot of money into trying to improve that go-on rate. I think it's in the past 10 years, they're upwards of $100 million trying to improve that go-on rate. From my understanding, last I checked, it hasn't improved. It's still at that 40%. The needle did not even move. $100 million, needle didn't move. And so the exciting part about this is that with having an esports program at a university, not just Boise State, but any university, there's over 200 universities now that have esports programs. To encourage kids to go from high school to college is the biggest and most important thing that we could think of. And you want to go to college to get a great education, and you'll get that at a lot of different universities. Of course, Boise State, you'll get that. But you also want to be a part of something. You want to be on a team. You want to show that you're doing something at your university, where it's just being part of a club, being in in the cheer club, doing the drama performances, whatever.
Right.
You it's nice to be a part of it. So having an esports program, we could help these kids that you and I grew up kind of the same time. Like, we didn't have this going to college.
Definitely
like, we would have, admittedly, been made fun of.
Yeah.
At least at my college, we would have been made fun of for, oh, you play board games for fun.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what? Yeah, like, dude, this is awesome. Like, oh, like.
If you ever hit a critical hit on an orc, dude, just don't even talk to me, bro.
Right. Exactly. Like, you just, there's, so with this, like, we're actually able to facilitate a varsity program that helps students be able to feel a part of a team. They could represent their school. Their parents could watch from online. Like I said, we broadcast our stuff onto Twitch, and it's not about going pro. It's not about any of that, trying to get picked up on a team. Like, we do help them improve. We do want them to succeed and have wins and stuff. But you ask any of them, the most important thing is just being a part of a team. Like, ask, we have 85 students this past ending season. Every one of them, like, what's your favorite thing? I guarantee all of it is being part of a team, having someone to play with, feeling accepted, having something to do when they're not in class, being broadcasted onto Twitch. All these things, it's like nothing to do with winning. Like, everyone wants to win. That's natural, Right. But it's nothing to do with that. They win or loss. These kids have a great time.
Right.
And if we could encourage kids to want to go to college, because in the end they're getting a 4-year degree,
right?
Like, then sure, esports, why not? There's no reason why not.
Right. Yeah, I can definitely admit, like, if this was something available when I was getting out of college, or when I was getting out of high school, if this is something that was available that was like going, I think I would have gone to college. Like, my life could have been a little bit different. And so, putting that onto the next, generation is just like, it's a real cool thing, you know. I did want to talk real quick, or not real quick. It might take a really long time.
I ramble.
What are we doing? 18 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, I'm not even sure like how long I'm allowed to record on my device. So, but no, one thing I did want to talk about is we kind of talked about it on the walk over here, but like the kind of pressure of, you know, what you guys choose to play, you know, and even then, what do you choose to play like publicly versus not publicly?
Right. So we were talking a little bit earlier, and with the Boise State varsity program for esports, we play 4 games. League of Legends by the publisher Riot, Overwatch, publisher Blizzard, or Activision, depending. Hearthstone, Riot, and then Rocket League, which is Steam, which is, I believe, the company's called Psyonix. Thank you. I knew it was PY something. So with those 4 games, we are trying to jump into StarCraft 2. Hopefully, we're knock on wood. We're gauging interest. You'll notice we didn't mention Counter-Strike Go. By far one of the most popular games in the world right now. There is no argument. I don't care what you say about Fortnite.
Right.
Counter-Strike Go is the most popular. When you look at any ESL program, ESL 1, any production company, or any tournament, they're putting CSGO tournaments. We purposely try to avoid any shooting game that it could be perceived as real life, in the sense of they use real life named guns. They do have verbiage that we try to stay away from. There's no secret they have terrorist, counter-terrorist, team names, and we just want to avoid that. We don't want that conversation ever to be violent video. Violent video games causes violent people. We don't want that argument. We know it's not true, and it's not something that we ever want to have a conversation with. So
right, like you and me and anybody who's in it understands that, but especially coming from like your perspective, it's not about convincing me.
Right.
It's not about convincing a gamer. It's about convincing that old guy who wants to give this program money, essentially.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And so we just don't want the perceivedness of video games to ever come off negatively. We always want to push positively, and that's the truth. I mean, in the end, it's not the truth. I'm not lying when I say that.
Right.
And we all know, and we both agree. But when we're on a university, we are dealing with professors. We're dealing with guys that have been teaching for 30 plus years now.
Right.
And they're kind of set in their ways. Video games may not be as serious to them as it is to us. And that's fine. That's totally okay. Not everyone has to like video games. Not everyone has to like football. Not everyone has volleyball, etc. But we don't want them to be discouraged because they have a perceivedness of the game that's going to be something negative. So we always want to play something positive. Overwatch is a first-person shooter game, as that's no secret. But in the end, in the basic of what Overwatch is, it's a monkey with a laser beam attached to his arm chasing a hamster and a mechanical ball, while a witch basically chases with a broom that is healing you. Like,
right.
That's not really first-person shooter in my mind.
Right.
So that's like the most shooting type, and there's no real-life weapons. There's nothing that you could replicate in real life. Obviously, you can't replicate a monkey with a laser beam. So those
challenge accepted.
I have Planet of the Apes. So we just try to, we want to avoid that. We do have an esports club that consists of about 300 students. They can play whatever they want. We don't broadcast their games. They could play Counter-Strike. They play Smash. They could play Siege. We just try to, whatever games we're part of on the varsity program, we broadcast onto Twitch, and we keep everything teen. We don't want any mature rated games. Unfortunately, that means we don't do Halo as well. And we're slowly trying to get into Halo, because I love Halo, and I think Halo 6, knock on wood, is going to be the returning game for 343. So I'll be excited if and when, Tashi, I'm calling you out, if and when that comes out.
Right. Yeah.
Tashi's like the big community manager for 343.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's like the head guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's like the Mike Morhaime almost of Blizzard. Like Mike Morhaime, the founder of Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
Like that level of like celebrity. Okay. Tashi is like that in the Halo scene.
Gotcha. Okay. Man, yeah, it's so interesting as far as like I knew of there being tournaments and everything here in Boise, and I knew that, but it's like what brought me to you guys was literally a tweet from Dr. Haskell.
Yeah.
And it was It was the one where you probably saw. It was the one where you took a picture of the goat in the back of the truck.
Yes.
And he was all like, "It's things like this that remind." Or I've been in esports for so long, I forget that I'm in Idaho.
Right.
Something like that. And I'm like, huh. And then that kind of like sparked me, like, oh yeah, there's esports here.
Right.
You know, because it's definitely something like I knew.
Right.
But it's not something like being in a different world of like, oh, I'm a podcaster, so it's like I'm trying to pay attention to like the bigger picture.
Right.
It's really cool to just kind of go down to the local and just see what's going on here, and like to see this is like really kind of eye-opening for me. It's like, this is right here, and it's really cool to just be a part of this, even just like tangentially through you, you know, and just like kind of see how it's going. And so like I encourage you, if you guys have a college in your area, like try to look it up, you know, because like for instance, your tournaments are open to the public, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, check out your local area, figure out if there's any, you know, local tournaments or whatever. Some of them, some of them, do you open up to the public to, like, play as well?
In terms of what, the tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, tournaments are open to the public. Any tournament that we run, it's open to the public, depending on the location. Either it could be here at the Esports Arena or on campus at the Battleground.
Right.
But every tournament we do is open to the public. Some are free, some are pay.
Okay.
But the ones that are pay, we do offer a prize pool.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, we just try to help out any way we can. We do have a big tournament coming up. This is actually going to get put on by the Idaho Army National Guard.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a free 3v3 Overwatch tournament. So we're going to max that at 16 teams, round robin, and the top 8 teams come down here and play on the stage. All of it's going to be broadcasted. All of it's going to have casters.
Nice.
So that's going to be the end of August, on August 24th. And that's all over our website, our Twitter, our Facebook, and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for that. That should be a lot of fun. And it's cool to see what teams come out. We reached out to a lot of the local high schools. There's about 3 high schools locally in the area that have esports teams now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And we actually host the Idaho esports championships, the high school esports championships every year. And so we get about 100 to 150 schools come out that participate in that.
I mean, something like that has to be really good for parents, you know, because like parents of the kids nowadays, it could go either one of two ways. It could either go, they understand and they could see it, or they're old enough where there's just like, I don't understand it. You're going to play video games for a living? No, not in my house, or something like that. So having it so that you can actually have the high school level go in, then you're like, Mom, come watch me compete.
Right.
You know, let me show you like how this is, and just being there and being able to like see your son, like, you know, make that goal in Rocket League or something. You can like get excited about him. Be like, okay, I want my son to go to college for this.
Right. Yeah, and the one thing that I love doing the most, and when I was in California, I gave a lot of talks, got invited to universities to give talks on the transition between high school to college, and specifically for me being a player, because I played StarCraft professionally at one point, transitioning that into career. And I always explain that you can come to college and get a degree in whatever degree you feel comfortable with getting a degree in and you want to do it. And if you want to apply, you find a way to make it esports related. For example, every esports organization, whether it's a team, a university, a program, whatever, they all need accountings. We all need someone that deals with money. I don't deal with our money. We have a gal that does it because she's really good with money. She, when she got a degree in accounting, probably never thought in a million years she'd handle esports money.
Right.
But in the end, it's the same as any other business.
Right. So, because like you said, that one guy had, you know, he was getting into communication. He wanted to be a news anchor. Right. But he graduated, 4-year degree, and 200 hours of experience. Right. And now he can go to pretty much anything.
Yeah, I think
he got something.
Oh, he got like 6 job offers.
Nice.
And big companies too. Mostly in Los Angeles. But
of course, yeah, they send all our people to live here, but then they just take all our.
Well, I mean, it's when you're looking at the pay difference between Idaho and Los Angeles. Los Angeles looks pretty awesome, but so he's got the experience, and he casually was into video games. He wasn't super into it. Like he knows
he wasn't hardcore. He wasn't looking into the patch notes or anything.
Right. Okay. And so when he started casting, he dove into it. He's like one of our Hearthstone experts now.
Nice.
And he plays the game, but he doesn't sit there for 40 hours a week playing the game. He plays for a couple hours here and there, gets the knowledge he needs when he jumps on a broadcast. And it's like that kind of stuff. You can take a career and apply it to esports, or apply esports to any career. And it's like, like I was mentioning with our accounting, every team needs a finance advisor. If you want to be in human resource, every team needs a HR department, like a graphics design, a media, a video producer. We have a photographer that is getting a degree in photography and film, doesn't care about video games.
Right.
But he likes the events. The lights look cool. The atmosphere is awesome. So he loves to come down and take video and does photography for us. And he's getting so much hands-on experience. And he's only a sophomore. And I think I have like almost 1,000 photos like this guy's done. Like he's got, his portfolio is massive now.
Right.
And it's not just going out to take a picture of a tree or a car. It's like he's actually getting like live action shots that are impossible to get. Because A, sometimes you have to have a media license. B, you can't go to an event, like it's a live concert. Here, since he's a student, he could walk in here and take as many photos as he wants. So you could take the career, whatever you want to do, and just run with it with the career. You don't have to play the video game religiously. The pro scene is a different conversation. If the kid wants to get into the pro scene with it, then that's when you start reaching out to pay for coaching and figure out exactly what he wants to do with it, and the realistic aspect of, start small, go big. The secondary conversations I always have is kids want to get really big on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer. That one, I'm like, there's nothing I can tell you to do. You just have to do it. Like, I can't just give you a follow these steps and be successful. It's like every person is successful for a different reason.
Sure.
And
some people are successful because they switch to Mixer.
Right. I'm looking at you, Ninja. But and that's great. If people want to go to, I'm partnered on Twitch. I love Twitch. They've taken great care of me. If people leave for whatever, disagreements they have with Twitch, that's on them. I follow the rules. I don't have much problems with it. I play StarCraft on it, so it's not like much of a following to begin with. But so there's so many different career avenues you could take that it's related to gaming, but they don't have to sit there. And I think that's where, when I talk to the parents, I think that's where their mindset goes when, I want to do esports for a career. They instantly think sitting on a computer for 40 hours a day or 40 hours a week, and I'm like, to be honest, like, I have a career in esports. I'm partnered onto Twitch. I play on a professional StarCraft team. I maybe play 10 hours a week.
Oh wow, yeah.
Maybe. Like, I have a daughter. Like, it's like I just maybe. So it's not. It's a little different. And one thing that we're kind of going backwards on it, that anytime if a kid wants to come to Boise State to play on our varsity team, first thing I tell the parents, 2.5 average grade point, or 2.5 grade point average to be on the team, and they only get to play for 20 hours a week. We limit them. Like, we control what they play and how often they play and their grades.
Wow.
So, and we don't let them miss class. We don't let them miss tests. If we have a practice, but they have class, they go to class. They do not get special privileges or treatment.
Nice.
Like, we are strict, because in the end, the goal is to get them to graduate. In the end, that's all that matters.
Right.
And we don't want them to risk it for any reason. And knock on wood, this is actually going to be, it's technically third year, because school year is split between 2 years, because school is weird. So this is our third school year that the program's been around. And we have yet to have any kid ever have a problem with grades, with attendance, with not graduating, with any of that. Most of our kids average is 3.0 or higher GPAs. Yeah. Like, the kids on our teams are smart, and they're not just gaming related degrees. Like, there's communication majors, marketing majors, bioengineers, scientists, like these guys that want to go off to law. Like, there's a lot of great classes that these kids are taking that most don't have the desire to go pro. They want just a degree, and they want to get as many wins as they can and be on the varsity stage and broadcast onto Twitch, and they love it and get to travel, and why not?
Yeah, that's so cool though. Because that is obviously the biggest misconception, is just like what it all entails or whatever, and like being able to like look at everything and figure out like the ins and outs or whatever is just like really eye opening.
Yeah.
Because even just like watching the latest like EXP for Apex or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, they just go into arena and start playing a video game or whatever. It's so easy to just be like, not realize how much in the background has to happen.
Right.
And then it's cool from a collegiate point of view, because being able to help out people, that's just like, That's just the best part, you
Right.
know? So we talked about what you like about it. What do you not like about it?
Not being able to play.
Ah, yes.
That's the biggest thing is not being able to play. And the maintenance on the computers. We have 60 computers total throughout the campus that are under the esports program. So there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes before you showed up, all this was empty
Oh, okay.
because you had the carpets cleaned, and so then I had to move everything back.
Oh, damn.
So it just, yeah, and as you guys saw on the tour, it just all the beanbags, the couches, the chairs was not here. So it's that kind of stuff that I don't want to say hate or dislike. It's just like when you think about esports, you don't think about moving couches.
Right. It's tedious
But
stuff.
it's in the end, there's so much back end stuff that you're mentioning that a lot of people just don't realize that you have to do, like setting up 20 computers. Yeah, that's gaming related, kind of, but being on your hands and knees, setting up TVs or setting up the monitors, plugging them in, wrapping the wires, plugging the keyboard, mice, headsets, Ethernet, running the lines, tethering the lines down. It's a couple hours, and you're sweating, and you're hurt, and you're done, and you're like, esports. I'm a interior designer for esports. That's gonna be my new title.
That's funny.
We do have tryouts. It'll be posted on the website soon. So if you are a Boise State student, I believe the requirement is 12 credits, but I may be wrong. Dr. Chris Haskell, he's currently enjoying some much needed vacation. So he'll be back next week. Feel free to reach out to him. I believe the minimum requirements is 12 credits, but I could be mistaken. And then you could try out League of Legends, Overwatch, Rocket League, Hearthstone. We're adding StarCraft 2, as in TWO, not 200. Just want to make sure that we're not doing StarCraft 1.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's StarCraft 2.
Okay.
Not also TWO 2. And we're gonna have 3 days of tryouts for multiple games. If you don't want to try out, or if you're just an average fan, our Overwatch tournament, August 24th, it's completely free to sign up. It's 3v3. If you don't want to sign up, you want to just come watch, it'll be here all day, broadcasted live onto Twitch, Boise State University, of course. And then our first opening season match is against Florida State, and that is September 7th, playing all 3 games.
Nice.
3 games. We're not doing Hearthstone with them.
Oh.
But that will be all week. So
Nice.
I'm super excited. The arena is open for anyone that wants to come check it out. It's on 301 South Capitol Boulevard, across the street from the Grove Hotel. I know where everything's at in Idaho based off food. So don't give me street directions, just tell me where the food's at. So it's right next to the Panda Express, the Trader Joe's, and the Chipotle off of Front and Capitol.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, it's, our website has all the information you need, Twitter, Facebook, reach out to me personally, whatever is needed. But space is open and free to the public.
Nice. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to check in one last time before we wrap this one up. Thank you so much to BSU and Ryan for having us there, for showing us everything, and just kind of seeing what's happening here in my hometown, Boise, at the Boise State University. Now, I said it in the video, but also if you're from Boise or the surrounding areas, you can come down. It's open to everybody. You can look at it. You can look at their website, which I'll have in the description, look at what events are coming up, and just basically come down and have some fun. But if you're not from the Boise area, obviously this might not mean that much to you. However, there are plenty of colleges out there. There are plenty of programs out there. So even though this is my personal hometown and I'm just kind of sitting here going hoorah, make sure check out your local college, kind of look up some information about it and see if there's some esports. If you want to get involved in any way, like go and check it out, and maybe you can help out in some way, or you can just donate and kind of turn your passion for gaming and community and try to help it out. So make sure, check out your local colleges, check out your state's college, figure out if they have an esport, and see if there's anything you can do as far as just going out and hanging out, showing your video game and school spirit, and just try to see if it's happening in your town. So I had so much fun. Thank you, Ryan, once again for showing me everything, and it was really awesome, and it was really eye-opening situation. I hope to help out in my community and figure out if there's something I can do. I can't wait. Thank you for watching this episode, and thank you for listening to this episode. If this is something that you would like to see, go to our YouTube at ThreatX3 Productions, where you can see the arena, where you can see me and Ryan chatting. You know, so much fun. Thank you so much. All right, we're done.